CM Punk has made some very interesting posts on social media, and a major star debuts in New Japan. And could AEW be next? But first, let's get to the quickfire headlines, as Cody Rhodes' appearance at WrestleMania 39 appears to have been confirmed. This after a production truck was spotted donning the face of the American Nightmare. Rhodes has been out of action since June 2022, with him now on the tail end of his recovery period, and WWE have been running some video packages of Rhodes over the past 2 weeks, with this as well as the truck, both signs that his return is imminent. Last week on AEW Dynamite, Max Caster would get the internet talking after a reference was made to Jeff Jarrett's wife Karen, with him saying that Jeff stole Kurt Angle's then wife when their relationship started in 2009 during their time in TNA Wrestling. Jarrett would get serious on his My World podcast this week, with him insisting that Karen and Kurt were already separated when he started dating her, before insisting that a receipt is on the way to the rapping wrestler tonight on Dynamite. Ahead of the Acclaim's AEW tag title defense against Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Jeff would say, "We all know this is an industry, so we know what's going to happen, but I will say this. Max, you have multiple receipts coming, multiple, and you'll know it. I can assure you that. You will know it. You think I'm working? You think this is a podcast? You think this is blah blah blah? You'll find out. I assure you that." Earlier today, New Japan Pro Wrestling would hold their 17th annual Wrestle Kingdom event from the Tokyo Dome, a card that featured stars from NJPW, Stardom, AEW, and even WWE. The supercard would see a women's singles match take place in the Tokyo Dome for the first time since 1994, when Kairi would put her IWGP Women's Championship on the line against Tam Nakano. Whilst we'll get to the aftermath a little bit later on, it was Kairi who walked away as still champion after a short but smooth match, putting her opponent away with an insane elbow from the top rope. AEW's FTR would also compete at Wrestle Kingdom today, as the former triple tag champions of ROH, AAA, and New Japan would put their last remaining belts, the IWGP tag titles, on the line against Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. The match would leave Dax and Cash with no belts to their name after a double team maneuver put Harwood away for the 1-2-3, with FTR now currently on a 5-match losing streak across all promotions. As well as AEW talent, WWE would see themselves represented by Carl Anderson, with him entering the show as the Never Openweight Champion, a title he's held since before his WWE return. In the end, however, it was Anderson's former Bullet Club teammate Tama Tonga that left with the title, this after Machine Gun's underhanded tactics were unsuccessful, leading to Tonga hitting a second rope stun gun before finishing him off with another stun gun for the 1-2-3. This likely marks Anderson's last New Japan match for the time being, with his prior commitments with the company now complete. Kenny Omega would also appear on the card for his first Wrestle Kingdom match in 4 years, with his last coming in January 2019, where he lost the IWGP Heavyweight Championship to Hiroshi Tanahashi in the Tokyo Dome main event. This time around, Omega left with gold after he overcame the now former IWGP United States champion Will Ospreay in a much anticipated dream match that didn't disappoint. After some tremendous sell work from Ospreay in the lead up to the finish, the Best Bout Machine would drop the aerial assassin with the one-winged Angel, leading to the pinfall win. Omega now begins his second reign with the United States belt, with him also being the inaugural champion back in 2017, a reign that lasted 210 days. The win also implies that the Wrestle Kingdom match won't be a one-off, with the cleaner likely set to return to New Japan to defend his belt in the near future. The main event of the Dome show would pit IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jay White against Kazuchika Okada, with the build to the match tipping the winner to be the successor to the late great Antonio Inoki. As expected, it was Okada that walked away as the new champion, winning his second ever World Heavyweight Championship in New Japan, this on top of his 5 reigns with the now defunct Heavyweight Championship. The promotion now enters 2023 with the Rainmaker back on top, as his reign as the ace of New Japan continues. FTR's Dax Harwood would take to his podcast this week, where he would have huge praise for fellow AEW tag team the Young Bucks, this despite their differences professionally and personally, and Dax would say, "If I were going to put together a Mount Rushmore of tag teams, I would put the Young Bucks on there. I would have them right up there because they have defined a generation of tag team wrestling. They also completely changed the style of tag team wrestling too. Not a style that Cash and I adopted just because that is not my cup of tea. I couldn't do half, a quarter of what they do. They're incredible at what they do, but they did change the perception of tag team wrestling. They changed the way tag team wrestling is formatted. All the differences that we may have had in the past from 2016 through 2022, I can't take away the fact that they should be on a Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling. According to PW Insider, William Regal has officially returned to his duties in WWE, this after his recent exit from All Elite Wrestling. His release request was granted by Tony Khan in order for Regal to return to WWE, with him wanting to work alongside his son and NXT star Charlie Dempsey. It's also reported that Regal has taken on the role of vice president in the company, although his specific title is still unknown. Another report from PW Insider has noted that former WWE champion Batista was backstage at SmackDown this past Friday. He's said to have came by for a quick visit, although he wasn't around for long. It was added that he wasn't the only former WWE names in attendance, with him also being joined by Hall of Famers Ric Flair and Gerald Briscoe. And next, CM Punk has made some very interesting posts on social media. Over the past few weeks, CM Punk has begun to re-emerge on social media, with him often sparking talk amongst the wrestling world. Punk is of course currently out injured with a torn tricep, with his AEW status up in the air after the events that followed the All Out pay-per-view, which has left fans eager to figure out what his future holds, with his latest Instagram story being the latest fuel on the fire. Last night, CM Punk would take to his story to highlight the draw that he's been for AEW in the year of 2022, first posting a graph displaying the promotion's most viewed YouTube videos of the year within its first 168 hours of release, with the straight edge superstar appearing in 3 of the top 4. Punk would also share the success of his wrestling figure releases, with his AEW Unmatched Series 4 figure being the most sold item on Ringside Collectibles, a site that sells figures on behalf of WWE, as well as AEW, with his unrivaled Best in the World figure also coming in at number 6 on the charts. The post follows the news that Punk was also the number 2 merch seller in AEW behind Danhausen, although it can be argued that he would have topped the charts had he continued to appear on television more, which would have obviously led to more merch dropping. It's clear that Punk's intentions were to show that he is indeed a draw for All Elite Wrestling, something that can't be argued when you look at the numbers. But what do you make of CM Punk's latest Instagram post? Let me know in the comments down below. And before we get to the key stories, I just want to give a cheap plug to the video I released yesterday where I used AI to predict the wrestling world in 2023. Will CM Punk return to wrestling? Will Cody Rhodes win the World Championship in WWE? Will MJF stay with AEW or jump to WWE? And who will beat him for the World Championship? Well, we do what we can to find out. I'll leave the link in the description and on the end screen if you're interested in checking it out after this video, and it is a good one. And next up, a major star debuts in New Japan, and could AEW be next? For the past number of weeks, reports have emerged that Mercedes Varnado, formerly known as Sasha Banks in WWE, was set to make an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom, with many expecting her to confront the winner of the IWGP Women's title match. Well, the expectations came to fruition just hours ago, after Mercedes showed up to do just that. After pinning Tam Nakano in just 6 minutes, Kairi's celebrations were interrupted by the sound of money, with a video showing a mystery woman get out of an expensive car as she made her way to the arena. Mercedes would then make her way down the entrance ramp, introduced as Mercedes Moné, a term she recently trademarked, with her being nicknamed the CEO. She would then take Kairi out before challenging her for a title match at the upcoming Battle in the Valley event in San Jose, California, which goes down on February 18th. Moné would become a free agent on the 1st of January after her WWE non-compete clause expired, with her New Japan debut bringing an end to her 6-month absence from the ring. Attention now turns to AEW Dynamite next week, with Mercedes tipped by most to be the mystery partner of Saraya for her match against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter on January 11th. Regarding the possibility, Fightful Select would release a report last night ahead of Wrestle Kingdom, where they revealed that talent within AEW have been no-sold when asking about Mercedes being the mystery partner, although the belief in the locker room is that it is indeed her. When discussing the internal feeling, Fightful would add, the fact that it wasn't shot down either on screen or internally, promoting it a month out, it being a week after her Wrestle Kingdom appearance, and the cast of characters involved in the tag match were all points brought up to us by talent in the company when assuming it was her. However, one talent said they didn't believe a deal was done or could have been completed as of last week because of her contractual ties to WWE. As mentioned, Mercedes' non-compete clause expired on January 1st, meaning no deal could have been signed until then, although as we know an agreement was made made for her to appear in New Japan way before then, meaning a verbal agreement could have been made between Moné and All Elite Wrestling weeks ago. But do you think Mercedes Moné will be revealed as Saraya's mystery partner? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out me using AI to simulate WWE and AEW in 2023.